Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figure why not, about moving something to one side, why not? Meaning, I've talked about the movies being Planet of the Apes, Beneath Planet of the Apes, Escape from Planet of the Apes, Fantastic, oh the list goes on. 5 Planet of the Apes films. So, after the unsuccess of Paco of the Planet of the Apes, because in all fairness, I remember seeing the original poster of this. I remember seeing the original poster. And in all fairness, the poster tells fucking lies. Because when you see the poster of Paco off the Planet of the Apes, you've got a tank, you've got a deck airplane, you've got aerodactyls, you've got soldiers, you've got explosions, the lot. And that's what you thought you're going to see in Paco off the Planet of the Apes. That is what you, the audience, think you're going to see in Paco of For the Planet of the Apes. And it wasn't. It wasn't. You had hippie fucking apes loving and duffing. You had Super Caesar firing out every 2 minutes like fucking Superman. Every time some shit hits the fan. There was too much fucking tarot. Don't get me wrong, I like Robin McDowell, and I keep saying it, he's not the problem. He the best thing in that was nearly at the end with all the explosions, the tanks, the airplanes, and everything. The other decent thing what come out of that is Robin McDowell. The rest of them can't fucking act to say fucking diggity dig, and it was boring. Just watch Robbie McDowell bits. Watch the fighting at the end with the explosions and the tanks and the bikes. That's it. The rest of the film was boring, and it sold because after that decided no more. But they decided to make a TV series 1 year after, being 1974. They made a TV series where Robbie McDowell sort of plays his role and you had different characters. So technically, you could say is sort of like the remake before the remake. So when you think about it, before we had the shitty remake, we had two remakes. We had Beneath Planet of the Apes, which I said from the get-go is nothing more, nothing less than a fucking remake, only with a shitty downbeat ending. And the TV series, when you think about it, it's sort of like a remake because it starts off, like I say, this came out in 1974, and it starts off with two astronauts. Sounds familiar. I think the only difference is, though, they based it in 1980. Yes, I know it wasn't 1980, but in all fairness, it's 1974, but they based this on 1980. And these astronauts are tasked, and they think they're in the future, but we all know they're not. And you've got the apes, and in every episode, these two astronauts who are like the bustle buddies are trying to find the way to get back home. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired of this planet of the apes. They made so fucking many, and the TV sucks ass, and I really want to get fucking home. Well, actually, I didn't mind the TV series. I didn't mind it what it was. They still had the practical 8 masts. Meaning it was cheapy budget. I actually thought this was a big improvement of Paco of the Planet of the Apes. Shoot me. I really did, because I know it's cheapy budget. You only had a cheapy amount of time to show it. The only mistake, and I remember ranting this, is it was on the ABC channel. Say it again. ABC channel. The worstest fucking network to go out. The worstest network of any TV series. And I think at the time, you know what I mean, this was like 1 year before you had Happy Days. Remember Happy Days? A couple of years before you had Mork and Mindy. And you had all these other souls trying to compete with Planet of the Apes. And they won. And it only lasted one season. And it was bye-bye TV series. And it was only a couple of years after that they did an animated series. And in all fairness, the animated series is what fucking Paco of the Planet of Apes should have been. Apes firing airplanes, explosions, apes stifling speed cars, apes stifling a fucking dock-off tank. It should have been like that. But because of the fucking budget, it's amazed me how they could afford to have one fucking tank in it, no matter fucking explosion. I'm on that Paco of the Planet of the Apes. But with an animated cartoon, you could get away with anything. You know what I mean? It didn't bug me seeing a fucking ape find a dead aeroplane or an helicopter or anything else. Didn't bug me. But let's go on with the TV series. So the TV series, you've got two astronauts and they become bosom buddies. In every episode, they have sort of like an adventure. You meet Caesar again, done by the man himself, Robbie McDowell. And every episode, they try to get away. Do you remember there was one where they make an anti-or an air balloon and they tried to throw it away? And then there was one where one astronaut tried to get away. And I do remember there was one with Mike Singer. Remember who Mike Singer is? The star himself who did V, the sci-fi series. Also appeared in the ninth series of Dyers. And we all remember him as Beastmaster. So it's professionally see a very, very long Mike Singer in the TV show of Planet of the Apes. And it always had me wondering. It always had me wondering whether the producers saw this, or maybe a rerun of this. And it always had me wondering whether the people that produced Fig saw an old rerun of this and thought, you know what? He's the man for Mike. He's the man who's going to be Mike Donovan in V. Because I like him in this. He's only in one episode in it. And it's like I say, every episode it had a different story. Every episode you had a different story. There was chats and you got to like the characters. And I do remember one of the actors starred in one of my favourite Stephen King films, that being Cat's Eyes. He's the one who played Drew Barrymore's, a very long Drew Barrymore, I should say. A very long Drew Barrymore's dad in it. Well, he's actually in this as one of the astronauts. A little bit of secret for you there. So I kind of like that idea. I thought it was different, it was unique. And it's like I say, it's very similar to the original movie and a little bit of Beneath the Planet of the Apes. But I'd say more taken up on the original film. You know what I mean? It's professing to see them in that era and they think they're in the future. And I reckon that the series would have gone on, it would have been discovered that they weren't in the planet, they was in the future. You know what I mean? So it had a good foil in this. It had a good foil in that the TV series. I reckon itself, it would have carried on. It would have been done, but it's like I say, back in '74, 1 year after, you had the TV series of Happy Days, you had Mork and Mindy, you had all these other comedy shows, and I think that's what outbeating it. People wasn't tuning in. People wasn't tuning in. There was more into the movie versions of Planet of the Apes, and people was more into the films. And it's sort of sad, really, because it's like I said, I would love to see a second series, a third series. Sad to say, it was not to be. It only lasted one season. And of all channels, fucking channels, ABC. The ABC channel, in my eyes, is the worstest network ever. It's cancelled so many TV shows, whether it would be figging The Teen Hornet with Bruce Lee. Granted, he had his famous other films. They cancelled Star Trek when it got to the third series. They cancelled Batman and Robin when it got to the third series. The list goes on. You want to see a rant on that? See a rant on ABC. And it's the same because I would have loved to see what it would have been like. Instead, we've got the cartoon series. I love the animated cartoon series. I love it. I can watch it as a time waster. But then we had that horrible fucking remake. The effects were good. The makeup was good. It's just the acting was shit and the twist ending was garbage. You had fucking CGI apes going. The less I talk about them, the happier I'll be. But the TV series, I can respect that they had the original practical makeup like they did in the films. I like the chief soldier apes. I like the fact they got horses. I like the fact that even though for the TV show, it still had a good budget. See my dog's getting excited. It still had a TV budget. For a TV budget, it still felt like, to me, it felt like a film. It felt like a movie. Felt like a movie. That's what I'm going to say in it. That being the TV series of Planet of the Apes. Into them. Be smart. Be safe. See you later.